So you're very welcome back to Unstable TV. Thank you so much for joining us today. If this is your first time on the channel, do not forget to
like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the bell. And if you're back with us again, thank you.
So we have a very different suggestion today, something that hits close to home. I'm going to let Danielle take it away.
So it's coming up to the anniversary of 9/11. So we've been requested quite a few times to check this video out. Boatlift, an untold tale of 9/11 resilience.
Obviously no one celebrates 9/11, but it's also good to remember everyone as a condolence to the families and everyone that has lost. And of course you are Irish, and there's a lot of Irish in America, so all your Irish brothers and sisters over here, pray for everyone that has fallen and the families belong to it. It's not an easy one to watch, and we all remember where we were on that day. It was a tragic day and it was horrible, and hopefully it never happens again.
It's one of them days where the world kind of just, it's almost like the world had a black cloud over.
Yeah.
It was a dark day for, not just for everyone that happened to, obviously, but the rest of the world that's seen it. It almost changed the way the world is now after that. Do you remember where you were when you heard the news?
See, I'm very young when it happened, and of course, as a child, you're very innocent to this, so you don't really realize why every adult in the room just stopped, and their heart, and their hand over their mouth, because we all couldn't believe the tragedy, and it still is quite saddening to know that a lot of people will never see them members of their family again. What about yourself? Do you remember where you were on that day?
Yeah, well, like you said, we were both only kids at the time when it happened, but I had just came in from school and it was on the news.
Yeah.
And the whole family was just kind of there in the sitting room, just in shock. Nobody was speaking when it was being aired on TV. It was just, you have to stop moments.
You're frozen on time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not something it's very hard to explain this, because my experience and your experience is very similar. You're frozen on time, and you almost can't believe what you're hearing as well as seeing.
Especially like you said, when you're a kid, you don't really understand it as much. Then when you get older, you're like, that was
a very traumatic day for the world.
This was a huge thing that happened, and it's never going to be the same.
No. So, of course, to all our American brothers and sisters and anyone over the world that has ever experienced this or remembers where they were in this day, but most importantly to their families and everyone in America, we send a lot of love from here in Ireland to you guys. So without further ado, we jump straight into this for ourselves and you guys. Let's go.
That's true.
Yeah.
I thought I was watching a movie, Towering Inferno at first. And then I looked real close, and I noticed it was the World Trade Center. I was compelled, because I'm a type of person that can't stand by and watch other people suffer. And to me, they were suffering. They wanted to get off the island. And there was no way for them to get off the island other than the water. And I had noticed when I was watching the television, I saw a lot of the ferries going up into the slips and taking people off. I said, fine, we could do the same thing. I could take people on my boat, get in there, take them where they have to go. And that's what we did.
That's real compassion.
Yeah.
On the morning of September 11th, when the towers came down, millions of people ran for safety. Hundreds of thousands of them ran south to the water's edge. That's when they realized that Manhattan is indeed an island, and that they were trapped.
You forget that it's an island.
They were feeling helpless, and that's the worst feeling in the world. What was a person on the ground going to do? Buildings were down. There were people laying under the rubble of the building. Firemen, civilians, my wife was there, and I turned around, I says, I've got to go do something. Just like that. And she looked at me, she says, what are you gonna do, you maniac? I says, I'm gonna take the amberjack up into the city and help. She says, but what if they're attacked again? I says, well, then that's something I have to live with.
Wow.
I says, I have to do what I have to do.
Yeah.
I says, and nobody can stop me right now. Even if I save one person or I rescue one person, that's one person less that will suffer and die.
This guy. What a hero. Oh, that's awful.
They were trying to evacuate Manhattan because nobody knew what was going on. You know, you didn't know if something else was going to happen. It was just a madness on one side and, and wanting to help people on the other side.
They were just streaming out of the buildings, and the first mode of transportation they saw was a ferry boat. And that's when they knew, this is how I'm getting out of here. So they didn't even care where the boat was going.
There wasn't panic in New York in the beginning, just volume. It wasn't until the first building fell that there was panic.
Oh my God.
No.
You heard the building go down, but we're in the slip, so we can't see it. That's when we started letting go, and then all of a sudden, engulfed. You couldn't see anything.
People were actually jumping into the river and swimming out of Manhattan. Boats were very nearly running them over.
Wait. These people wanted out of Manhattan no matter any way they could.
Somebody wants you to go over there.
Every mode of transportation out of Manhattan was shut down. All the subways were shut. The tunnels were all closed. They closed the bridges, they closed everything immediately.
Boats, usually an afterthought in most New Yorkers' minds, were for the first time in over a century the only way in or out of Lower Manhattan.
The process actually had already started. There were some boats that were grabbing people, that people were lined up at the walls.
On the left.
It's just human nature. You see people in distress on the seawall in Manhattan begging you to pick them up. You have to pick them up.
They didn't know what was going on. They seen the building getting hit with these two planes. As far as they was concerned, we were being bombed. I was wondering if they were going to come on the boat.
That's
if they had people with bombs, or if they were going to come on. We're a big orange target in the middle of that harbor. My job is to keep the boat safe, my passengers safe, my crew safe.
Everybody was in shock, running around. They didn't want to leave their families. They had loved ones running around the city.
Everybody has a baby. Nobody has it.
There was one guy ran from the apron and jumped onto the boat. He grabbed onto the metal, climbed up right next to the pilot. So I'm going out there to say something. He slides down to the next deck. So the deckhands get him and go, what are you doing? He goes, I'm jumping for my life. So, you couldn't argue with him there.
What a scary time to be in.
There was a small boat that was at the lower tip of Manhattan. I thought the boat was going to flip over because so many people were trying to get on. And as I looked behind, they were just 10 deep. And that's kind of what gave us the idea.
We decided that this has to get better organized and we better do it, and that's what we did.
So we decided to make the call on the radio. All available boats. This is the United States Coast Guard aboard the pilot boat in New York. Anyone want to help with the evacuation of Lower Manhattan, report to Governor's Island.
When that call came on the radio, they were coming.
I was uncertain of who was going to respond. About 15, 20 minutes later, they're just boats all across the horizon.
Wow.
Literally,
Bravery
100
of all them
targets
captains.
converging on the lower part of Manhattan.
When we came out of that dust cloud, tugboats, I'd never seen so many tugboats all at once.
There was just like a fleet of tugboats headed to Manhattan.
If it floated and it could get there, it got there. All different size, shapes, and forms. And they were zooming across this water.
For what was going on,
private
seeing that in the
boats,
distance would
party
boost your
boats.
morale.
I worked on the water for 28 years. I've never seen that many boats come together at one time that fast. One radio call and it just came together just that fast.
That's American unity right there.
Yeah.
True American heroes.
Hundreds of boats converged on the city, leaving the sun-bathed harbor behind them. Dead ahead, the unknown.
That was something I won't forget. It was just low, dark, acrid, black smoke. It's like there was a big chimney in Manhattan. When we pulled into Pier 11, the dust was unbelievable.
And then out of nowhere, you just kept on seeing people coming.
They looked like zombies coming through the fog, and you knew that those were human beings.
Don't leave us. Please don't leave us here. Take us.
God.
It's awful. At that point, the Coast Guard said, not how many people are you allowed, how many people can you fit?
Come on, guys. Anybody coming? Get your ass over here now. Now. Come on.
Boats started hanging, literally would take a bedsheet off a bunk and a can of spray paint and paint their destination on.
Some of these
taking
people
them
never
down
been in the
anywhere.
water,
Yeah.
never been on a boat before.
Housewives, workers that do windows. We had executives. And the thing that was the best, everyone helped everyone.
I want you to hold my hand.
The pure compassion.
Get inside. One at a time. Get inside.
I saw 4 businessmen lifting up an old woman with a seeing eye dog, a German Shepherd, and they lifted her up like a surfboard and passed her over the handrails.
When we would carry a load of people over, and there was somebody standing there that seen their husband or wife, you know, that made us feel even better, you know. Well, at least we got 2 back together, you know. Keep on going, you know.
The guy that works at the ferry, he's a welder. His son was on my boat. He actually came up. He thanked me.
We went back and forth all day long, carrying boatloads, as many as our boat would hold. And it was a lot of people. A lot of people.
You couldn't have planned nothing to happen that fast, that quick.
No training. This was just people doing what they had to do that day.
You forget all about what you're supposed to do, what they teach you in school, and you say, you know what? Morally, this is the right way to go, and deep down, this is what I'm gonna do.
Average people, they stepped up, and when they needed to, they showed me, you know, when the American people need to come together and pull together, they will do it.
I do feel a way honored that I was a part of it.
That was the greatest thing I ever did with my life.
The greatest day that I've ever seen in all my boating, I mean, my life on the water.
The Great Boat Lift of 9/11 became the largest sea evacuation in history. Larger than the evacuation of Dunkirk in World War II, where 339,000 British and French soldiers were rescued over the course of 9 days. On 9/11, nearly 500,000 civilians were rescued from Manhattan by boat. It took less than 9 hours.
Wow. That's a show of strength from the people
Yeah.
right there.
I believe somebody has a little hero in them. You gotta look in, and it's in there. It'll come out, if need to be.
I have one theory in life. I never want to say the word I should have. If I do it and I fail, I tried. If I do it and I succeed, better for me. And I tell my children the same thing. Never go through life saying you should have. If you want to do something, you do it.
Wow. That's a good way to live, boy.
No, 100%.
That was powerful. Just to see all the captains and everyone come together. That's a true show of strength from the American people. United together, they stand every time.
Absolutely. I actually never even heard of that story about 9/11 before with the boats. I didn't think that happened. That's, and like to rescue 500,000 people. the amount of lives that they all saved that day is just incredible.
Yeah, they all them captains collectively,
Yeah.
true American heroes, 100%.
Yeah, and especially the fact that they called out, they got it together so quick and put it out there that we need boats, and so many came.
Yeah.
It's just, like your man, like he said there, you know, we hope that everybody has a little bit of hero in them, but when you see things like this, you know it's true. No matter what type of person you are, if something like that happens, you're going to step up and you're going to help.
Yeah, it's great to see, like, another show of strength here. See what's going on here. Always the people, once they're united, we all stand, and then divided will fall. But this shows right here, it's the people that always have the power, and right here is the embodiment of the American spirit and what America stands for. Just everyone coming together. It didn't matter what rank anyone had in society, everyone collectively got everyone out there, and in under 9 hours as well.
Yeah, that just goes to show. I don't even know. Just the amount of boats that showed up, and they were just back and forward and just getting as many people as they could, and as quick as they could as well. It's just, I don't even have any words for it. That's just incredible. It's just, I got goosebumps watching that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I never heard of that story before, did you?
No, this is a first time for the two of us. And of course, a very big shout out to our suggestees for sending this over to us. We do appreciate that. And of course, a very big shout out to the original content creator. Of course, do make sure you go check them out and give them a like, subscribe, and share.
And a very big shout out to everyone that was on the boats that day as well, helping everyone, because that's, I mean, I have a lump in my throat and everything talking about this now. That's just, it's just so incredible to see. It really is.
Yeah. Of course, a very big shout out to all you people watching this and sharing this day as well, and remembering everyone that has fallen.
Yeah.
And of course, sending another love out to everyone in America that is grieving with this day. And of course, a lot of love to the families, and we send them all our prayers from your Irish brethren. Of course, as we have our discussions here in the comments, we want to know about you guys. What did you guys think of this? How did you feel? Have you heard of this story before? And where were you guys when 9/11 happened? Let us know in the story. If you want to share stories with us, please do let us know. We want to talk to you guys down there.
No, 100%. Because like we said, it was one of them things that happened that the world just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
And everyone just kind of had to just take a breath, and it was shocking. It really was.
The whole world just came to a standstill.
Yeah.
There's no other way to put it.
Even till this day, it's one of them things that it's still unbelievable that it actually happened.
Yeah. Like, even when you see the footage of the towers, when you see it again, it's like as if you see it for the first time. It's shocking.
Yeah, the images are just something else. It's just, I don't know, it was just such a horrible thing.
Yeah.
There's no words can even describe what it was actually like.
So, as always, you are the beautiful people of YouTube, and we have been Unstable TV.
Yeah, so everybody make sure you stay safe and look after everybody else.
I'm going to chop ourselves out.